Few films have captured the essence of existential dread and spiritual awakening quite like 1990. Directed by Adrian Lyne, this psychological horror masterpiece isn't just a story of a Vietnam veteran plagued by hallucinations. It's a deep dive into the occult, Christian mysticism, and Gnostic symbolism. Today we're peeling back the layers of this chilling tale to uncover the hidden messages woven throughout. The movie begins in the chaos of the Vietnam War, where Jacob Singer and his platoon are ambushed. This scene isn't just a battle, it's a symbolic representation of the soul's fall into the material world. In Gnostic and occult teachings, this descent is seen as the beginning of human suffering, a departure from divine unity. Jacob's stabbing in the stomach, it's reminiscent of the wound to the lower chakras, symbolizing spiritual severance and primal fear. After Vietnam, we find Jacob navigating a dark, almost labyrinthine subway, a scene rich in occult symbolism. The subway represents the underworld, a place of transition between life and death. Pay close attention to the flickering lights and eerie silence. These aren't just cinematic choices. They mimic the liminal space described in many spiritual traditions, a place where the soul is tested. The homeless man Jacob encounters appears human, but reveals a tale. In occult lore, this symbolizes hidden truths, the grotesque realities of human suffering, and Jacob's own unacknowledged demons. Enter Jezebel, Jacob's lover, whose very name is a clue. In Christian tradition, Jezebel is synonymous with temptation and spiritual downfall. She represents the shadow feminine, the worldly desires that keep Jacob tethered to his physical existence. Notice how she often dismisses Jacob's pain and visions. She's not malicious, she's symbolic of the distractions that blind us to spiritual truth. One of the film's most striking moments is the party scene, where the camera captures Jezebel writhing in what can only be described as demonic ecstasy. This isn't just disturbing for the sake of horror, it's deeply symbolic. The party is a metaphor for the illusion of earthly pleasures, and the grotesque imagery hints at the darkness underlying Jacob's psyche. The demonic overtones serve as a reminder: the material world is riddled with suffering and deceit. In stark contrast to Jezebel, we have Louis, Jacob's chiropractor. But Louis is more than just a healer. He's a literal angel in the narrative. His role is to guide Jacob towards spiritual liberation. Notice how Louis aligns Jacob's spine, which in occult traditions is the central pathway for spiritual energy. By realigning him, Louis symbolizes the process of spiritual awakening. The only thing that burns in hell is the part of you that won't let go of life. This line is crucial. It echoes the teachings of mystics like Meister Eckhart, emphasizing that liberation comes from shedding attachments to the physical world. The movie's title is a direct reference to the biblical story of Jacob's vision of a ladder to heaven. But here, the ladder is more than just a pathway to the divine. It's a representation of spiritual evolution. The distorted figures Jacob sees throughout the film, grotesque faces and melting bodies, are manifestations of his unresolved guilt and fear. They are the demons that hold him back from ascending the ladder. And then we come to the ending, a masterstroke of ambiguity and emotion. It's revealed that Jacob has been dying this entire time. His life after Vietnam, a hallucination born of the experimental drug BZ and his own spiritual struggles. The final moments, where he embraces his dead son and ascends into the light, are deeply symbolic. This isn't just a resolution, it's Jacob's liberation from purgatory. His son Gabe represents divine innocence and redemption, guiding him to the afterlife. Notice how the light envelops him. In occult traditions, light is synonymous with the divine. Jacob has finally let go of his earthly attachments and ascended to spiritual unity. So what does it teach us? It's a film about the duality of existence, the material and the spiritual, the flesh and the soul. Every character and scene serves as a piece of Jacob's spiritual puzzle, forcing him to confront his fears, guilt, and attachments. It's a modern day with Jacob as a Dante-like figure navigating his personal inferno before reaching paradise. This film isn't just a psychological horror film, it's a spiritual odyssey, a meditation on life, death, and what lies beyond. So, next time you watch it, look beyond the jump scares and grotesque imagery. There's a profound message waiting to be uncovered if you're brave enough to climb the ladder.